Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again, and it's time for the next edition of the Splinterlands Market Watch. Today is June 16th, 2024. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. So let's get started. So we start like we always do with the SPS price. So 2 weeks ago when we looked at SPS, it was just over a penny, 1.1 cents. As you guys know, recently we've dropped under a penny and we are currently at 0.87 cents. So we've gone down 15% in the last couple weeks. Vouchers have taken a little bit of a dip. I expected the price to kind of rebound a little bit with the new wild format pass that went into effect yesterday. So now you have to spend 40 vouchers. I believe it's 2,000 DEC or DECB or credits if you want to play in wild. So I thought vouchers would get a little bit of a bump, but they're still above 2 cents at 2.24 cents. But they've still gone down 8% from 2 weeks ago. And then DEC, as you guys know, has been trending lower and lower. It went under 70 cents per thousand, but now we're just barely back up above 70 cents for every 1,000 DEC. Vouchers in circulation. So we are at 12,157,000. I was curious, so I wrote down the numbers that we were at yesterday. So yesterday we were at 12,290,000. So we've gone down 140,000 since yesterday. But over the course of the last 2 weeks, we've increased by 158,000. Remember that we do add 40,000 vouchers a day. So over 2 weeks, we issue 560,000 vouchers. So we've only gone up 158,000, so a little over 11,000 a day. SPS burning continues to be very, very slow. We didn't even burn 200,000 over the last 2 weeks, so we're only burning about 13,000 a day. Okay, let's move on to packs. So the big price change over the last 2 weeks. This just happened the last couple days. Alpha packs were selling right around the $30 to $35 mark. I know I was purchasing some off of Hive Engine, selling it in the game for low 40s. Currently, those packs have dried up. Now, the current lowest price of an alpha pack on Hive is just over $63. So the days of the sub 40 alpha pack may be over. So that is just something to keep in mind. We'll see if this trends lower in the next couple weeks, if this kind of holds steady. But there are not very many packs for sale. Let me go over actually right now. Just do another look at alpha. I believe there's only 3 or 4 packs that were available. I think there was 2 at this price, and then they jumped up quite a bit after that. So the asking price right now is 250 Hive, which is a little over $63. There is only 1 available at that price, and then it jumps up to 350 Hive for 3 packs, and then 455 for 5 packs. So after 60, then you're probably going to look at $80 to $90 a pack for alpha. So if you're interested in alpha packs, like I said, now is probably not a good time. There's very low liquidity and the asking price is pretty high. So over the last 2 weeks, 4 alpha packs were open. Beta packs, pretty much the same price, right around just over $8. Didn't really open a whole lot, only opened 8 packs in the last 2 weeks. Untamed has dipped a little bit too, going from 665 to 583. Only 23 packs are open, so very few packs are open over the last 2 weeks overall. Dice dipped from just under 12 to just under 9. 6 packs were opened. Orb packs went from just under 17 to about 12 and a half. 2 packs were open. And then Chaos Legion. Chaos Legion continues to drift lower and lower. About a month ago, we were hovering in that 45 to 50 cent range. Now we're down to asking price for packs has been 35 to 40 cents. So currently on Hive, you can get Chaos packs for 35 cents. And in the last 2 weeks, we've opened just under 20,000 packs. So at these low prices, people continue to crack packs, probably placing them on land, filling out their decks, picking up, okay cards at cheap prices. Rift Watchers. So Rift Watchers has drifted a little bit lower. You can get packs for right around $2 on Hive. And over the last 2 weeks, 230 packs have been opened. And then Rebellion had been holding pretty steady at about the $3, $3.20 range over the last 2 weeks. Currently, it's down at $2.81. But the sales have gone pretty slow. So as you guys can see here, in the last 2 weeks, we only sold about 6,700 packs, which is about 480 packs a day. So prices continue to be fairly strong on singles. We'll see that towards the end of the video when we get to Rebellion. So the cards are holding their value, just not very many are selling right now. Okay, so now let's start moving on to the sets. So we'll start, as we always do, with Alpha. Let's take a look just at changes for the last 2 weeks. So not a whole lot of changes in the last couple of weeks. One of the higher end legendary cards doubled in price, but overall for the regular foils, not a whole lot of difference. The cheapest card right now is 46 cents for the animated corpse. A decent amount of liquidity on the commons. For a while, there was a buyout of some of these. And the prices went kind of crazy. Like the Silver Shield Warrior briefly was $40. Then he drifted down to like 5 to 7. Now he's come back down to pretty much where he should be, right under $1. So most of these commons should be right in the $50 to $1 range, and that's where they are currently. So that's getting back to kind of a normal price range for these cards. Your rare cards, $1.24 for the Silver Shield Paladin is your cheapest. So you can see the liquidity starts getting lower for even the rares. You're pretty much under 20 for every card. The most expensive rare is Ulrich at $8, 28 of him available. Moving on to the epics, your cheapest epic is $3, up to $6 for Swamp Things. So actually not a very bad price at all if you consider these are epics and it is alpha. And then your legendaries, $32 for the Frost Giant is your cheapest alpha legendary, and then the Gold Dragon is the one that $385. So previously it had been Selenia Sky at right around 200, but now the Gold Dragon has kind of spiked up. So you can see a handful of copies of each of these. And then looking at your promo cards. So your common promo, Dragon Whelp, $7.76. Your rare promo at $29. Your epic promo is going for $50. And then the legendary promo card is just over $1,500. So now looking at gold foils. Some of the gold foil commons continue to drift lower. For quite a while, $20 was the floor. Now we have a couple of them that are actually under 20. So Rexy at $14. Haunted Spider at $18. Those are your cheapest two commons. Going on up to, and then as you can see, the one outlier, there's a single copy of Giant Rock that someone is asking $1,200 for. So those are your commons. You can see very low liquidity, even on commons, less than 10 of each one. There are 20 commons in the set, and there's only 18 available for sale. So 2 of the commons don't even have a single copy for sale on the marketplace. Looking at rares, Frozen Soldier is at $85.04. 2 copies available. The most expensive, once again, there's only a single copy, so people can name their price. $4,000 for Malric, just under $1,500 for Ulrich Stormbringer, almost $700 for Haunted Spirit. So those are your rares. Looking at your epics, the cheapest gold foil alpha epic is $360.66 for the Defender of Truth. And then your air elemental is just over $900 at $921.44. And the legendaries, once again, there's just one legendary gold foil alpha for sale. It's the Elemental Phoenix for the low price of $100,000. And lastly, let's look at the gold foil promos. So there's only a couple available for sale. A common Dragon Whelp for just under $90, and the Royal Dragon Archer for $380.27. So as you can see, the prices from 2 weeks ago. So the common promos come down a little bit. Rare promo either sold or didn't get listed. There's none available. There's none of the gold foil legendary promo available. And that is it for your alpha cards. So now let's move on to beta. Once again, in the regular foil versions, not a whole lot of movement, but we will look at them just so we get a record of kind of the print run, how many cards are out there, how many cards are on the market. So your cheapest common is 2 cents for the Enton Spearman. So just take a look at these. Some really great cards cheap. Sea Monster for 10 cents, Silver Shield Knight for 9. So if you are still continuing to play in Wild, great time to pick up some of these common beta cards at a cheap price. Divine Healer, 13 cents. Feral Spirit, 14. Flesh Golem, 15. Yep, a lot of great cards here. Most expensive is the Cobalt Miner at 33 cents. So that's your most expensive beta common. Then looking at your rares, Boogeyman at 12 cents. Going on up to some of the summoners are actually pretty cheap. You know, Tyrus, 31 cents. You know, Malric, 41 cents. Delana, 50 cents. And then, of course, your most expensive summoner is Alric once again at $4.22. He's been hovering right around $4 to $5 for the beta version. Furious Chicken. So if you're playing in Wild, definitely need to have a chicken, the 0 mana cost card. Card used to be a couple years ago 15-20 bucks. Now you can get it for under $1 at 62 cents. Looking at epics for beta, Spirit Shaman at 43 cents is the cheapest epic. Moving on up to a couple of the epic summoners are $4 and $5 for the high-end epic summoners. And then legendary cards. Your cheapest beta legendary is Fallen Spectre at just under $4 at $3.96. Moving on up to Valdemar, his kind of hit his normal price. 2 weeks ago he went back up to $150 and he's still basically $149.99. So he has always been, I think as long as I've tracked the Market Watch, he's been the most expensive beta legendary card, and he continues to be so. Okay, so now let's look at the promo cards and then the gold foils. So promo cards for beta. Delwyn, for quite a while, was in the 77 cent range. He's now down to 48 cents for the common summoner. The rare, 24 cents for the Dragonling Bowman. Fiendish Harpy is 118. Red Dragon, 10 bucks. And then, of course, your 2 legendary promo cards. Archmage Arius, 737 and 88 cents. And Prince Julian, 4,720 cents. So the Red Dragon promo has come down a little bit, so a little more affordable from 14 to 10. And of course, the other 2 have been staying in the same range, so not a whole lot of movement in the promo cards. Like I said, the one that I have noticed that is trending lower is one that people may want to pick up if you're looking to play in Wild and want a cheap, affordable Dragon Summoner. So keep your eye on Delwyn if that is something that you are interested in. Okay, let's look now at the gold foil cards. So looking at your gold foil beta commons, your cheapest one, Undead Minotaur, is $1.70. Going up to a couple of outliers here. $36 for the Saber Shark and $25 for the Cobalt Miner. Other than those 2, your most expensive beta common is Flesh Golem at just under 8 bucks. And then for your rares, your cheapest rare is the Battle Orca at $9.50. You can get a gold foil chicken for just under 18. And surprisingly, Alric, even though he's the most expensive rare, he's not the most expensive gold foil rare. He's sitting here at $35. Actually, Tyrus at 37 and Liliana at 45 are summoners more expensive than he in gold foil, which is kind of unusual. And then Malric is sitting at 60 bucks. So to me, that's kind of backwards pricing, but it is what it is. Looking at epics, just over 50 bucks for the Spirit Shaman. And then your most expensive Epic Gold Foil is Serpent of the Flame at $477. Just one copy available. Other than that, the next highest cost Epic is $115 for the Air Elemental. And then for your legendaries, your cheapest Beta Gold Foil Legendary, $299 for the Black Dragon, 4 available. You can see the low print run on these, under 100 for these Gold Foil Legendaries. And then the most expensive is not Valnamore, although he's at $1,775. You've got Prince Renan at just under $2,000 at $19.99. And then your gold foil promos. So your gold foil promo cards. So Delwyn, the common, is at $8.07. The Dragonling Bowman is sitting at $19.50. Fiend Sharpie at $89.49, and then Red Dragon at $700. So Delwyn has come down in price. 2 weeks ago he was $13, now he's $8. The other two are pretty much the same. So once again, if you're looking to pick up a beta summoner for Wild, Delwyn might be something that you might want to pick up. You know, especially the gold foil. You know, if you can get a gold foil beta card for $8 summoner, to me that's not too bad. And also remember that beta commons start at level 4. So with him being a summoner as well, you know, you pick up a single copy of him and you're already like halfway between a max bronze and max silver right off the bat with a single copy. So 2 copies of Delwyn, a little over $16. You've got a max silver summoner for Wild, if that is something you guys are interested in. So just wanted to point that out. So that is it for beta. So now let's move on to Untamed. Let's look at the regular foil, common. Just look at the regular Untamed cards. So once again, you're not going to get a whole lot of movement in the regular foil versions until you get to the legendaries. So your cheapest common is a penny, all the way down to Serpentine Spy and Failed Summoner have been kind of the top 2 for a while. Failed Summoner, like a month and a half ago, was sitting around 80-90 cents for a single copy. Now he's only 10. Serpentine Spy, usually around 20 to 30 cents. Now he's down to 13. So once again, if you're looking to build up some commons for Wild from Untamed, great price on some of these commons. And you know, there are some playable cards. The Spy, the Summoner, Sandworm, Warrior of Peace is a great card. Parasitic Growth for Little League being neutral. Goblin Thief is a good one. Demented Shark for Inspire. So don't overlook some of the commons from Untamed if you want some, you know, decent cards to fill out your deck. Looking at rare, cheapest rare is at 4 cents. Going up to 38 cents for the Spark Pixies. Looking at the summoners, the Drake is 35 cents. So he's pretty decently priced. Bortus, a great card with the -1 magic summoner, is 25 cents. Where are the other ones? Mother Kala, 16 cents. Pyre, 15 cents. Wizard of Eastwood, 14 cents. Contessa, 17. So once again, great price on some of these summoners. If you don't need very many copies, just need to get, you know, a bronze level or silver level card, may want to keep an eye on those. Looking at epics, so you've got 17 cents for your cheapest Untamed epic, the Evangelist, going up to the Chief at $1.37. Once again, there's some great cards in here, right around $1. So if you're shopping for cards for Wild, don't forget about Untamed. And then Untamed Legendaries, cheapest is $1.44. Going on up to Kitty is $55.55. So if we look at some of the topped legendary cards that I like to keep an eye on, Kitty 2 weeks ago was just under 70, now 55.55. Llama was 40, so he's dipped just $1 to 38.95. Jotun's come down slightly as well from 45 to 38.58. Kron has kind of been bouncing around the $12 to $20 range over the last few months. He was just under 12 2 weeks ago. Now he's at 13.45. Some of your promo cards. Let's look at those. So for your promo cards, Halfling Alchemist is continuing to drift lower, right around $2 a couple weeks ago. Now he's down to $1.50. Chain Golem sitting at $21.75, 13 copies available. And the Mighty Dricken, 1 copy for $1,200. So those are your promo cards. And then for your gold foils, we'll look at the regular gold foil versions. So your cheapest gold foil common for Untamed, 44 cents for the Barking Spider. Up to, surprisingly, not the Spy or Failed Summer being the most expensive, but the Cursed Slime Ball at $3. So can get some decently priced gold foil commons for right around $2 or less. And remember, a single copy gets you max bronze right away, gets you a level 3 common. Okay, looking at rares, cheapest rare, surprisingly, is the Ice Pixie, which I think is one of the better rares in the set. It's the cheapest right now at $1.80. And take a look at this. You can get some gold foil summoners. Mother Kala for $2.40. You can get Mortis for $3.72. The Drake for $3.88. Wizard of Eastwood for just under $4. Your most expensive is Contessa, the Death Summoner, for $9.99. So good price, I think, on some of these beta gold foils. Looking at epics, your cheapest gold foil epic, just over $10, $10.57 for Torhillo the Frozen. On up to your most expensive, once again, is the Chief at $250. 2 copies available, but that's kind of an outlier. If you look at the next range of prices for the epics, you're looking at $20 for the highest. So don't overpay and pay anywhere near $250 for an epic gold foil. And then your legendary cards, cheapest gold foil legendary from Untamed is $125. And then some of the top cards, you would think Kitty. Kitty is not the most expensive gold foil. Continues to be right around $1,500 at Almo Cambio. So if we look from where we were 2 weeks ago for some of the gold foil legendaries, Kitty was $1,500, came down to $1,100. Gold foil Llama was just under $500 2 weeks ago. Now you're sitting at $382.50. Jotun really dropped in price. I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago, people were asking $4,000 to $5,000 for a gold foil Jotun. Currently, you can pick one up for under $400. Only 3 copies available. The cheapest is at $385. So you've got a single BCX for $385, 2 BCX for $750, and then a max one for $1,500 for Jotun. What are some other key cards to look at? Kron was $149, was one of the cheapest ones. Kron is now up to over $260 for a gold foil. Almo Cambio, like I said, right around $1,500. He's been pretty consistent. Magnor went from $270 to $225, and then Robo Dragon Knight dropped from $185 to $168. So not a whole lot of movement for some of them, but like I said, the big movers down were Jotun and Kitty, especially Jotun going from $1,100 to $385. And then for gold foil promo cards, the one surprising move here is, even though it's not really in high demand, was the Halfling Alchemist. You know, it's usually a lot cheaper than the Chain Golem. These two have flip-flopped. Now you've got the Halfling Alchemist gold foil at $225 and the Chain Golem at $90, where, you know, to me it should be the other way around based on the regular foil price. And then there are no gold foil promos of the legendary card. All right, let's move on to dice. So once again, in the regular foils, not a whole lot of movement with 1 or 2 exceptions, which I'll show you. So your common cards, you're still looking at 1 to 4 cents for the commons. Really not a whole lot of playable cards. Battering Ram, maybe, and Flamesmith would be probably the only 2 that I would consider looking at if I was building out a deck for Wild. So if you're looking to get the Battering Ram, 4 cents, not too bad of a price. Looking at your rares, which are your summoners. This is the first time I've seen Mylor and Lorna, same price, and look at the price. Mylor is actually under $2. He had been bouncing around between 2 to 3. He hit 3, then dropped back down to 2. But he took a big dip this week down to $1.24. So if you're one of those people that couldn't afford Mylor a couple years ago, you can pick up one copy of Mylor really cheap now, just to have one in your deck. If you're a collector and always wanted to have this card, great time to get a Mylor for just over $1. Your epics, the one big jump here, these have been between like 36 and 50 cents. Someone did a buyout of the Dragon Spirit card, so there's only 2 available, and you can see they're listing one for $5.33. So definitely don't pay this for this card. This was just a targeted buyout. And then for your legendary, cheapest, $3 for the Lens Master. Epona usually is around, what, 35, 40, 45 bucks. Jumped up to 100 over the last 2 weeks. And then Krallis is usually right in that range too, 25 to 35 range. It's still there, but Epona is the one that took the big jump this week. And then looking at gold foils, for your commons, so you can see not a whole lot of changes in price from 2 weeks ago. So your cheapest common, 49 cents to 84 cents for the battering ram. Now for your gold foil rares, which includes your summoners, there's some good cards here. Everybody overlooks Vera and Quid, but Ouster is a decent card. You can get him for under 5. Bright and Bloom, super popular for the Earthquake rule set at 7. Lorna Shine, only $8, and a gold foil Mylor at 10. I picked one up 2 weeks ago when he went to $12.50. So now he is at $10. So if I get one more copy, then I've got halfway to a max silver summoner. So something that I am thinking about doing. As you can see, there's my gold foil cards that I have for summoners. So yep, so these two are definitely the strongest in this set, and decent prices as far as how prices have been over the last few months. Looking at epics, $11.40 for the Grenadier to $14.38 for the Mistress. And then your gold foil legendary cards, once again very low liquidity, $178 for the cheapest, and then Nightshade is sitting at just under $1,000. As you can see, there's no Krallis, there is no Epona for gold foil. So that is it for dice. So let's look at orb. Scroll on down to orb. Once again, a very small set. I like sets like this. It's very quick to go through. Once again, not a whole lot of movement in the regular cards. One of the cards that was kind of overpriced a couple weeks ago has come down to normal. Etten Spearman, you can see 2 cents. Whoops. Let's get off that. Just get to orb. There we go. So let's look at just the commons. So 3 cents to 5 cents for your common cards. For orb, rares, Silver Shield Bard. 2 weeks ago, this was sitting at like $2.99. So someone I think did a buyout and listed them all higher. So it's come back down to the right range. These cards are usually between 15 and 30 cents. So that's a normal price, at least for the last few months for these 3. So hopefully you didn't buy or overpay 2 weeks ago for the Bard. It's come down to a more reasonable price. Very good card to have, 1 mana with a cleanse. So this is a good price for this card, but yeah, definitely I hope you didn't pay $2.99 a couple weeks ago. The epic cards, these have come down for a while. These were like $2 to $3 range. Mermaid Healers down to 69 cents, and then $1 for the Dwarven Wizard. I was kind of surprised I don't own a copy of this card. I definitely need to get at least one for Wild. Just having magic damage for a neutral card with Snipe is nice. And then if I can get 11 copies of it, he also gets a stun. So definitely I need to look at moving some funds around and picking up the Dwarven Wizard, which I think is a great card. And then for your legendaries, 3 legendaries available. $5.89 for the Minotaur Warlord. Lord of Fire is $6.75, and then Corrupted Pegasus at $15.50. So let's look now at the gold foils. So cheapest gold foil, $1.75, up to $3.04 for the Armor Smith. The Silver Shield Bard, $11.54, up to $21 for the Electric Eagles. Your epics. Once again, I don't know why people are listing it this high thinking it will sell. There's only one copy of the Dwarven Wizard, and they're still asking just under $500. The Mermaid Healer is sitting at $38.90. And then for your legendaries, only two available. The Minotaur Warlord for $700 and the Corrupted Pegasus for $12.75. So the one that is not listed, 2 weeks ago there was a Lord of Fire listed for just over $1,300. That one is gone. Okay, so let's move on to Chaos Legion. Not a whole lot of movement except for some of the legendaries have come down slightly for Chaos Legion. So let's take a look at that. Let's get off of beta, get to Chaos Legion, look at the core and reward cards. So once again, penny for the cheapest card. You can see the print runs here, how many are available for sale. Scroll all the way down to Scavo Hireling, continues to be the highest price. About a month ago he was down to 5 cents. Now he's back up to 12. But yeah, he definitely is the most expensive common, if you want to call it 12 cents expensive. Looking at your rare cards, cheapest rare is 2 cents for the Venari Bonesmith. And then let's take a look on the rares at the summoners. So General Sloan is down to 10 cents. Thaddeus Brood 15, Tarsa 15, Obsidian 20 cents, and Kelia under a quarter at 24 cents. So as Chaos Legion continues to be opened, a lot of people opening packs probably to put workers together for land or looking for the gold foils. Even the summoners are continuing to fall in price. Once again, if you're a new player or new-ish player, these are the lowest prices that have been around. So if you're a new player looking to build your deck, this is a great time to get some summoners very, very cheap. Then your epic cards, 8 cents for Insidious Warlock. The floor price for these had been around 10 cents. Now you're getting down to 8 cents. For an epic, up to Magi of Chaos continues to be the most expensive at 37 cents. And then your legendary cards. General Shannis at 40 cents is your cheapest legendary. Just amazing to me to see some of the fiends sitting right around 50 cents. Okay, and then your most expensive is Immortalis at $6. So once again, if you're a newer player and looking to get legendary summoners, you can get a Grandmaster Wraith for $214. You can get a Quix for $235. Conqueror Yasik at $263. Astral Entity at $311. A Lily for under $4 at $390. And Possibilis at $422. And then Immortalis for $6. So those are your legendaries. So now let's look at the promo cards. So for your promo cards, so you've got Archimus the Bear at 11 cents, Vruz at 20. So Archimus has come down a little bit. He went from 18 to 11. Vruz has kind of gone back up to 20. This is where he's been for quite a while, 20-cent range. I think Archimus usually is around 15 cents, so he's a little bit cheaper. So if you're looking to pick up that common card, this is probably a good time to pick him up. And then looking at your legendary cards, the one big change here that I want to point out is Dr. Blight under 10 bucks. I picked one up 2 weeks ago when he dipped down. I think he was 17. He went down to 13, so I picked one up. He's available for under $10. So if this is a card that, is one of those cards where it's like, it's too much and, I can't afford it. And this is a card that you've looked at for quite a while. This is a great time to get a Dr. Blight. I don't know if he's going to hold under 10 bucks 2 weeks from now. Not financial advice, but this is the lowest by far that I've seen this card. So Picked one up, don't regret it. 2 weeks ago when it was 13, may think about picking up another copy or two so I can get him to level 2. Zuriel sitting at 1837, Lux Vega at 180, and then Waka Spirit Blade $350. So if we look at where they were 2 weeks ago, Oshur went from just under 11 down to under 8. Like I mentioned, Dr. Blight went from 13 down to under 10. Zuriel just drifted a few cents lower. But look at Waka. 2 weeks ago, 160. Now they're asking 350. And then Lux Vega had been around 220 to 250 range, asking 180 for a Lux Vega. So since we're already here, let's look at the gold foils. So your gold foil commons, Artemis the Bear 78 cents, Vruz at 140. And then your legendaries, Oshura sitting at just under 50 bucks. Gold foil Dr. Blight for 65. Zuriel at 85.50, and then a gold foil Waka at 7.50. So there is no gold foil Lux. There hasn't been for a while. But yeah, I just wanted to point out Dr. Blight. 2 weeks ago he was just under 100. Now he's 65. So that's one of the lowest prices I've seen for him. Okay, so now we can go back and look at the regular foil gold cards. So your cheapest gold foil common, so once again, there's a lot of people, myself included, that have been targeting gold foil commons for land workers. So to be able to get some of these, for 10, 11, 12 cents, you need 38 to max them out. So let's real quickly look at max level. You can get a max level of some of these for under $5. So if you're looking for land workers, regardless of splinter, there's a good mix here of all the different splinters. It looks like for, $5 or just under, you can get a fully maxed gold foil common card, which will give you 2,000 points for land. Actually, it'll get you 2,200 because I think most people are going to put these on the correct terrain type and get that 10% bonus. So you can get 2,200 points of production for right around $5. Just for comparison, a gold foil common, 2,000 points. Even a regular foil legendary card is only going to get you 1,500. So you do get a lot more production points for a gold foil common as opposed to any rarity of regular foil. So just wanted to point that out. But yeah, so these are cards that I'm looking at. Keep an eye on are all the gold foil Chaos Legion cards. So 10 cents is your cheapest, up to $1.19 for the Scavo Hireling. And then when we get to rares, I think there was a surprise or two here. The Gargoyle Devil is at 52 cents. Most expensive one is not Kelia, which it has been for quite a while. Actually, it is Dampier Infiltrator, sitting at $3. Very good reward card, double strike and sneak. But I just wanted to point that out that this week it is sitting as the most expensive at $3. Look at the legendary, or not legendary, but your gold foil rare summoners. Even Kelia is under $2 now. And General Sloan, a gold foil summoner, sitting at 82 cents. So once again, if you're a newer player looking to get a 10% bonus for a gold foil, and you're looking for a summoner at a great price, check out gold foil Chaos Legion rare summoners. And then one of my favorite cards to look at are the gold foil epics from Chaos Legion. I love these for land workers because once they're maxed out, they give you 6,000 points as opposed to 2,000 for a common. So I can pick these up, one by one, slowly level them up. A few months ago, these were sitting at anywhere from the $7 to $10 range. Now you're looking at under $3 for the Temporal Master, up to the most expensive, sitting at $3.59 for Jin Chwala. So pretty much right in that $3.50 range, you can pick up any gold foil epic card that you need for land, any splinter. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on if you're looking to fill out your land. Then for legendaries, we did dip down to $15 for the lowest. I was kind of wondering 2 weeks ago. For quite a while, the floor was like $20 to $25. Then we started to drift just a little bit under 20, and I was wondering if we'd hit 15, and we have hit $15. So you got $15 for your cheapest gold foil legendary, and then your most expensive is actually not Lily, not Possibilis, not Immortalis. It is Countess Sinesh, sitting at $45.50. But once again, just want to point out, gold foil summoners, you know, these are some of the rarest, most useful cards in the game, are sitting at under 40 bucks, and actually even Yasik and Grandmaster Wrath are under 25. So if you have been targeting a gold foil summoner, you know, and you've got the funds, you want to check those out. Okay, so that's for that. We went through the promo cards. I think it's time to move on to Rift Watchers. And then we will, of course, wrap up with Rebellion. So looking at Rift Watchers, regular foil cards, like I said, pretty much all these sets. Not going to be a whole lot of movement until you get to the legendaries, unless there's been a buyout. So 1 cent to 9 cent for your common. When you get to your rares for Rift Watchers, you're looking at 6 cents for the Shaman, up to 60 cents. Queen of Crows continues to be the most expensive. But like I've said in past videos, all of these rares, for the most part, are very useful cards in this set, and some of these actually could be epics in other sets. So great cards in Rift Watchers. Looking at epics, Dallin, 20 cents is your cheapest, up to Ilthane for quite a while was in that $3 to $5 range. Now it's kind of settled in the $2 range for Ilthane. And then your legendary cards, Rune Master is not the cheapest now. Ra is actually the cheapest at 220. Kind of surprising. I use this card all the time for my death team, and I have a lot of success with Ra. So I might actually pick up another couple copies of him. But he is your cheapest currently at 220, and Inevitable holding very strong price at $35. So as you guys know, card prices have been falling. You know, not a lot of new players entering the game. Rift Watchers was not an overprinted set, so it's still holding some value, but there are a couple, you know, decent cards holding very strong value. Immolation and C-Rec have in the past been $20, $30 cards as well. So Rift Watchers continues to hold its value. Let's look at the gold foils. So your cheapest gold foil common, Lycan Beast, is at 12 cents, up to $2.75 for the Coastal Nymph. For your rares, 86 cents is your cheapest gold foil rare, and it's not Queen of Crows. Queen of Crows is actually only $2.85. The Kabbalist, a card that I really like for the Amplify, pairing that with Cursed Wendigo. He is at $4.45, so he's your most expensive gold foil rare. Your epics, which are your summoners, $3 for Aquatis, up to $13 for Ilthane. So if you're looking to pick up an Ilthane, you know, $13 for a gold foil is not a bad price. And then for your legendary cards, Runemancer Kai at $24.49 is the cheapest. Surprise, this Runemancer, which is usually the cheapest regular card, is sitting at $40. And then C-Rec at $2.50 and Inevitable at $195 are your most expensive. Only a single copy of C-Rec available, so that's probably why they're asking $250 for that card. Okay guys, let's wrap up the video by going through Rebellion and looking at some of the key legendary cards. Once again, looking at the regular foil prices, epics dipped a little bit, but overall not crazy movement. So let's look at Rebellion, just the core set. So 4 cents is your cheapest common, up to, it is not a summoner, whoops, like why are there so many cards? I didn't sort by common. The Fighter is at 36 cents, so it had been the dual summoners had been the most expensive common cards, but now he's kind of snuck out of nowhere, so the Fighter is now the most expensive common at 36 cents. For your rares, you're looking at 14 cents for Sea Dog of 8. He's your cheapest common, or cheapest rare. Moving on up to the top two continue to be Avina and Moxian Rebel, sitting at just under $2 for the Moxian Rebel and $1.27 for Avina. Looking at your epic cards, 85 cents for Executioner Kron, up to Captain Fellblade at $2.35. And your legendary cards, Zabajan sitting at $4.55, and then your most expensive legendary is $22.89 for Venka the Vile. So if we look at the legendary cards from 2 weeks ago, Kai has pretty much stayed the same, $7.35, just a few cents cheaper at $7.18. Akane, I think before this was around 16. 2 weeks ago it jumped up to 20. Now it's just under 17 at 16.89. Rage holding right around 15 bucks. Same with Darg. Venka the Vile from 25.50 dipped a little bit this week to 22.89. And then Lorcas. Last time was his first time on the market watch at 24.20, and he's still sitting at $20. So he's at $20.50. Let's look at the gold foils now. So your cheapest gold foil common, just over a buck for your cheapest gold foil common. And then your most expensive is one of the summoners at $4.21. So the fighter, which is the most expensive regular card for a regular foil, is $1.60 for the gold foil. Looking at your rare cards, cheapest gold foil rare, $4.06 for the sniper. Up to 20 bucks, $19.99 for the bolter. Very good card. Once again, this card leapfrogged the Rebel and Avina the Wolf. And then your epics, gold foil epics continue to hold between 20-25 bucks for the most part. So your cheapest is $19.99. The most expensive, there's 3 copies available of this card for $100, which is kind of an outlier. As you can see, other than that one card, the most expensive is $30. So pretty much typical for gold foil epics from Rebellion, sitting in that $20 to $30 range. And then looking at gold foil legendaries, your cheapest is $103. Most expensive is Venka the Vile. Only 1 copy available. There's only 100 in circulation, and it is at $250. So once again, you guys can see the very low liquidity, very low amount of these on the marketplace, and overall just low print run. Not very many have been opened, not very many in circulation, just slightly over 100 of each. So very, very hard cards to come by. So comparing these gold foil legendaries from a couple weeks ago, Kai took a big dip, going from 240 to 130. A Kane drifted lower from 229 to 195. There is no gold foil Rage this week. Let's see if someone posted one in the last few minutes. Nope. There is not a single copy of a gold foil Rage on the market. Darg went up from 185 to 219. Rush dipped from 185 to just under 149. Nalara went down from 134 to 119. Venka the Vile went from basically 225 to 250, so up a little bit there. And Lorca stayed the same at $230. So let's wrap up this video by looking at the promo cards. So let's look at the regular foil promos. So Grimbarden Smith was $3.35 2 weeks ago. So he is now down to $3. You guys remember he was $6-7 a month or two ago, so he's continued to drift lower, but still holding a decent price. I mean, if you consider this is a rare card, he's still sitting at $3 compared to the Henchling Enforcer, which is $89. And then your gold foil. So your gold foil on Grimbarden Smith, you're sitting at just under $35. Only 3 copies available. Mantaroth. He keeps bouncing between like $35 and $45, it seems. Was down to 35. I thought, oh, is he going to drift lower? Then 2 weeks ago, he went back to 47. And then this week, he's sitting at $37. His gold foil a couple weeks ago was, what, 600? 669. This week, there's 4 copies available. The cheapest is $334. And then for your newer promo cards, Henchling Enforcer went from 94 cents down to 89, but the gold foil did have a nice jump. So the gold foil was $6.45. Gold foil now is $9. So that's a good price for a gold foil rare card. Grimbarden Smith's kind of an outlier, $35 for a gold foil rare. And then Baron Fiat. Baron Fiat was $9.17 2 weeks ago. Now he's down to $7.76. But the gold foil strengthened a little bit, going from 135 to 166. And there's 3 copies available for that card. And I think that will do it, guys. So thank you once again for sticking with me for this long video. I know it's long, but, you know, like to go through this at least every 2 weeks just to kind of get an idea of how the market's doing, how individual cards are doing. I don't play at the higher levels, so You know, some of these cards I don't really keep a whole lot of eye on until, you know, I do my market watch video every 2 weeks, and I'm kind of surprised that, oh, this card jumped, or oh, this card went down. So we'll continue to do this every 2 weeks. This is already episode 13, so I've been doing this, wow, 6 months already. So, but like I said, like keeping a track of how the token prices are doing, pack prices, and card prices. So I hope you guys enjoy the series. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy putting it together for you guys. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below. I will get back to those as soon as I can. And until next time, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun. I'll see you soon. Take care.